B2B credit infrastructure fintech FinBox has raised $15 million in Series A funding. A91 Partners led this round with participation from Aditya Birla Ventures and Flipkart Ventures. Existing investors Arali Ventures also participated in the round. Now, FinBox will use the fresh capital to scale its offerings and expand to Southeast Asia. To elaborate on its expansion plans, joining me now is the co-founder and CEO Rajat Deshpande. Rajat, welcome to Startup Street. Now, FinBox claims it allows any company, fintech or non-fintech, to offer 100% digital products within a matter of days. Now, with the fresh funds raised, you plan to deepen your credit infrastructure and data product offerings, as well as, like I mentioned, expand globally. If you could elaborate on the offerings and what's in the pipeline, also what new markets will you be launching in and by when?
Right. Thank you so much for having me on the show. So the new fundraise essentially goes towards really hiring and ultimately, our engineering talent and having a bigger roster so that we can build out, our products across the entire lending value chain. The credit infrastructure is very, very complex. It has a lot of moving parts, and each of these parts needs to be really well done for the entire system to work really properly. So what we are building is essentially, each of these orchestration pieces, from onboarding to credit underwriting to disbursal. And we are specifically focusing very deeply on the credit intelligence piece, where we are deepening our capabilities on, machine learning underwriting as well as fraud detection. Okay. We are also already testing and piloting some of our scores in the Southeast Asian markets, starting with Vietnam, and we will go next to Philippines, Indonesia, etc. as well.
All right. Rajat, you mentioned hiring, and you plan to double your current workforce to power your expansion plans at a time when we see startups consolidating their human resources. What gives you the confidence?
So we are a B2B software as a service company and are enterprise focused. We have been profitable from the start. We built really, really frugally, have a solid business model that works, and it has been tried and tested over time. And really, we built this very large business with only now 80 or so people, which were just 30 folks, 6 months ago. So we are really 3:1 understaffed, to execute on our mandate. We are really, we've been profitable, which means essentially we can turn our investment into cash pretty fast. So I would say the larger question is how well can we execute with the new capital infusion.
Absolutely, Rajat. And, you mentioned expanding into Southeast Asia. How big is this opportunity? What kind of products do you see yourself selling in that region? And what kind of revenue do you aim to clock?
So Southeast Asia is a very, very interesting opportunity. The consumers are fully digitized, but the credit penetration actually lags even behind India. The infrastructure there, is very, very, it can be much better. The credit bureaus sort of are very weak. The technology that we bring to the Southeast Asian region really can enable financial inclusion fairly deeply. So the first set of products that we will bring to the Southeast Asian region, starting with Vietnam, are the credit intelligence, device-based, anonymous data-based, credit models. And then going after that, we will bring out our API infrastructure pieces, which essentially enable any company to really become a fintech. Now, there is a broad parallel between what kind of companies are being created in Southeast Asia. So, for example, each of the SMB SaaS companies in India have a parallel in Southeast Asia. There are a lot of B2B marketplaces, etc., which can become fintechs very, very quickly using our infrastructure.
Okay, Rajat. Now, through your embedded finance stack and data intelligence suite, you plan to facilitate the disbursement of over 20,000 crore rupees in credit by March 2023. Now, how do you plan to do this? What makes you bullish, and where is the growth going to come from? Are you betting big on your global expansion plans that you just mentioned?
Absolutely. So one piece is, to understand what this 20,000 crore number actually means. So we are an API infrastructure company, which means that, our APIs and technology sort of touches each loan application as it flows through the system, right? So even now we do 2.5 million applications on a monthly basis, and our run rate on disbursals is fairly large. Overall, we've already done about $1.5 billion worth of credit facilitation, and the growth is very, very strong. One is the India side of the story is even though the broader credit markets are slowing down, but the digitization speed is picking up, especially across the enterprise space. Which is driving a lot of growth. Each of our products is growing very, very fast. We've seen over 6x growth, which is continuing to hold up even in this macro environment.
Okay.
Second is, of course, launching of newer credit products such as, equal daily installments and credit cards, which are on our radar. And then, of course, there is the entire growth that comes from the Southeast Asian region. So all of these will really contribute to our growth going forward.
Okay, all right. And we wish you the very best with that. We've completely run out of time. Rajat, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.